Hello there and welcome to Black Jackal Gaming. We're going to take a look at one of the Phobos units today, the Incursor squad. So these guys come with the Scout keyword, which is quite nice. They have an average amount of Strength 4 firepower. They've got a good supporting ability that can be utilised. They do have a nice little once a game mortal wound ability. They're decent into T3 bodies when in combat, and they're relatively cheap to take as well. They come with a pretty standard Space Marine profile, coming in at movement 6, toughness 4, 3 up save, 2 wounds, leadership 6+, and disappointingly an objective control 1. They're equipped with an Oculus bolt carbine. This is 24-inch range. It comes with 2 shots at BS3. It's strength 4 and 1 damage. It does have the keywords assault, so it can advance into still shoot, and it ignores cover. That makes up for the lack of AP at times in the weapon. In combat, they do have a little bump up compared to other standard Space Marine units. They come in at 3 attacks, weapon skill 3, strength 4, damage 1, so pretty standard there, but they do come with this sustain keyword, so every critical hit of a 6, you'll get 1 additional hit. They have the Scout keyword, so at the start of any game, once both armies have set up and before the first turn starts, you get to move these guys 6 inches, giving you just the ability to either, if you go first, put them in a position to get off their multi-spectrum array early, or fire off some cheap shots into some chaff units, or just get them out of harm's way. They come with a Haywire Mine. Now this is quite a nifty little ability that you can use once per game. During the start of any phase, you can select an enemy model that is within 3 inches of the bearer unit, and on a roll of D6, on a roll of 2+, you do D3 mortal wounds, and if it's a vehicle, this is bumped up to 2D3 mortal wounds. Now we're on to the multi-spectrum array. This is where things start to get a little bit more interesting. So in your shooting phase, you can select 1 unit that you have successfully hit, and then to the end of this phase, all Astartes units that are targeting this unit, they add 1 to their hit roll for the rest of the phase. This is really nice when you're targeting your Oaths of Moment target, because you're basically going to be, for the majority of your weapons, hitting on 2s and then re-rolling 1s. And even if you're not using this to target your Oaths of Moment, it gives you the ability to target multiple units and get more consistency in your firepower from your hard-hitting units. There's plenty of characters that you can get to join this unit, with the majority of the Tacticus characters being able to join them, though it's not really worth it because the buffs they're bringing along for the points you're going to spend on them aren't really worth it. You might as well just take another squad and then get an additional unit that can pump out that +1s to hit for the rest of your army. Likewise, a lot of the strats aren't really useful for these guys because they're not your damage dealing guys. They're not the ones that you're going to be pushing forward to take objectives and score points. These guys are here just for that ability to really allow your hard hitting units to be more consistent when they're firing into tough to hit targets. Saying that, there are 4 detachments where these guys do quite well in. You've got the Vanguard Spearhead, so when they're outside of 12 inches, they're -1 to hit and they gain the benefits of cover. So at the start of a game, you can be a little bit more aggressive with your placement of these guys, and your scouts movements, you can get them further forward, you can line up your targets earlier on. With having that -1 to hit and reducing AP, they're going to stay around for a lot longer. Then there's a Firestorm Assault Force. You'll gain +1 to your bolter when units within 12 inches, so if anyone's coming in to try and take these guys on, it gives them a little bit more ability just to knock them down a peg or two, especially if the T4 bodies such as other Space Marine units. They've then got the Ironstorm Spearhead. This gives you the ability to reroll a hit, wound and damage roll per phase. So if you do roll terribly with your hits, this does give you the ability just to have that 1 re-roll in your pocket just to make sure that you are hitting the unit, so you then can get your +1s to hit for your other units in the game. For the damage roll one, that might be quite useful when you're using that ability to get the mortal wounds off, just to make that a little bit more consistent and harder hitting. Then you have the Anvil Siege Force. This gets you the ability to have the keyword for heavy on your bolters, meaning that you will be hitting on 2s, making it more likely to get off that multi-spectrum array. And if you're stationary, you're +1 to wound as well. So this is quite nice, even though the rest of your armies gain the heavy keywords, the +1 to hit might not be all that benefit. If they are using stratagems or other rules in the games that does reduce your ballistic skill, then this is pumping it back up to that BS2 on those targets you really want to be doing damage to. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any comments, then pop them below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, then please hit the like button as it greatly helps the channel. Hit the subscribe button to see any future Warhammer content. Take it easy and see you next time for more grim darkness from the 41st millennium.